Hey guys, Joe from J&M here. So this week we had a pretty decent job. We had a hot tub pad with the basketball court and some stamp work. The soil was really frozen. You're going to see us having to break it out. We had amazing weather the whole job besides the night before the pour, but the pour, it all came out well. Customers were really happy. We had a lot of fun doing the job. Hopefully you guys enjoy watching this video and seeing how we do things. Future customers seeing how we do things. And thanks for taking a look, guys. Subscribe, leave us a like. Thanks, guys. Enjoy. So once we broke the soil out, we started making a pile off in the corner. The customer opted to save a good amount of money, haul it out themselves. And I mean, we agree with customers putting sweat equity into the projects. These projects cost a lot as it is. And we were just grateful that we were able to make a pile right there, made things go a little faster. We went down to unfrozen subgrade, made sure there wasn't any organic materials in it. And once that happened, we started hitting it with the jumping jack, making sure the subgrade below our road base was very well compacted. It was pretty hard to begin with anyways. You're going to see us hit it with the jumping jack a little bit. Didn't really make a difference. We got kind of lucky there. But this part went pretty quick. So after this pad, we went over to the hot tub area. We started getting out all the frozen soil, all the organic material. That went pretty quick. It was a lot smaller than the bigger pad. So once we started framing this, we wanted to make sure that at the far end, the concrete wasn't too far off the top of the soil. Since it's going to be a basketball court, we know people are running, coming and going, and we just wanted to make sure that there wasn't that big of a drop off, pretty much as flush as possible. And the slope we put on this was 0.5%. Yes, that's less than what we normally do, but it is a basketball court. Customers were very adamant about that fact, so we wanted to make sure people had a lot of fun with it. And here we are just framing it all out. We used some 16-foot boards, so that let it go pretty quick. We flew it through it pretty fast, actually. Had the laser transit out, got our grades. Eventually, we had to get the breaker again, and we started breaking out the perimeter of that hot tub pad, making sure there was no ice under there. We framed it out pretty quick, had the laser out, and so the hot tub pad was about 2.5 inches thicker than the rest. We believe hot tub pads should be a bit thicker. We put a number 4 bar in there. We ended up framing all the way across near the steps till we had the board under it, and then once it was all framed out, we just saw cut out that piece in the way you'll see at the end of this clip. So once we had everything ready, we watered the subgrade, the road base, class 6, and I just ran the compactor through it. The plate compactor, a little different than the jumping jack, a different kind of soil we were working with. I do about roughly between 5 to 6 passes on your typical residential job. Get it nice and hard, and then my wife started laying rebar 2 feet off center. She was kicking butt at that.
¿Qué es lo que se carga, bro? Carga la piedrota comparada a la carga, ¿qué es lo que carga? Mira el tamaño de este. ¿Cuánta batería le queda?
People ask how she manages to do it so fast. It's we use Bond and Newman tools for all our rebar handling parts of the job. Our rebar cutter, our rebar tire, which lets her just fly through this part of the job, and she's just great at what she does. There she is, making sure it's 2 feet off center. So you saw there, she was using the Rebar Tiger tire, which lets her go as fast as like 2 guys with your typical wire spool. She went really fast at that, got it laid out, and then it gave us time to go jump on that other slab before the end of the day. We didn't get it finished, but we made some progress there. after we watered that subgrade just a little bit, I made about a dozen passes with that jumping jack. Got it really hard and stiff before throwing the road base on there. We almost wrapped this up, but see everybody just watching me do my thing since everything else had already been prepped, good to go. We came back the next day, laid out the remainder of the road base, watered it, put down the bar. Now this rebar we left without chairs, as in it was just laying on the ground because we were going to be going over it with that Toro mud buggy, which by the way, great piece of equipment, glad we picked that up. And then you see me here, I did about 5 passes on this one, got it really nice and hard. It was crazy, it snowed that evening, dropped about 4 inches in one night. The whole time we were on this job, the weather was great. The moment we poured concrete, it was 33 degrees when it was coming down off the truck. By the time we were hitting it with the bull float, it was about 40. By the time we started finishing, we were in our 50 degrees. So because of that night, we ended up covering all this. We didn't cover it the remainder of the days. It was pretty warm those next couple nights after the pour, but it was crazy. We started at 32 and we ended at about 55 that night, and it stayed that temperature till about midnight, but it all worked out. So here you see we use number 4 bar on the hot tub pad, a little beefier than the other pads because there's going to be more load on here. But it all got prepped out. That's a 16 by 25. The hot tub pad was an 8 by 10. And the stamped pad was a 15 by 15. And I think they're all slightly bigger than what the customer asked for, which isn't a problem. But we took the chairs off of this pad right here when the time came because the Toro mud buggy had to go over that. So let's take a look at the pour and how that went.
De las casas de las cañas.
So once we were done with that hot tub pad, that mud buggy really started moving that material quick. As you can tell, even though there was snow on the ground, at this point we were at right around 42, 43 degrees. We still poured it with some non-chloride accelerant. You want to use non-chloride because there's rebar in there. Regular calcium will just increase the corrosion process with rebar that's in the concrete. But this part went pretty quick. The other last square went very quick. We had some concrete left over, so we had to toss it in the truck with a bucket. We don't like leaving a mess on our job sites. At this point, we were just hearing all the melt off of the house, just dripping water everywhere. It was a lot warmer than it actually looks in this video.
No me recete eso porque así lo siento yo, así me hace un ¿dónde? No me recete eso a un doctor, le voy a decir, no me recete porque así lo siento bien. Y no me dijo así, bien bonito que es todo, yo tengo fuerza. Tocaba y Subgrade. Y andan corriendo. Ya sé, ellos me marcan y decir, pues mira, andábamos descalzos, pues para qué nos descanse abajo, pues. Todos ustedes a trabajar, parece que no tiene él su propia raza. La pasa de que lo hacía suerte, sí. No le dura. Porque dicen que no pagan bien. No paga. Tarda mucho para pagar. Yo creo que la primera vez que le pagué el lishi antes de acabar el jale, creo que él pensaba que lo estaba corriendo o algo. Se llama Mountain Trail. Good job, honey. You can go to time lapse now. De seco, ¿está bien? Sí. Está rasposito, así me gusta. A ver, no topo acá para que no, que salga hasta la orilla. Súbele. Esto. No dice, porque ya supo con quién lo mandamos. No, dale más para el sur, porque estoy poco sueco, así, para enderezarme un poquito. ¿Qué no cuando uno lo califican finishero, uno empezó de labor y luego lo brincaron a framear? Ya cuando uno llega a finishero sabe todo, ¿qué no? Es que ¿por qué tanto finishero que no sabe formear? Que le dé jale, hombre, que no sea malo. Hay unos que han llegado que la mera neta no saben, ni saben cómo usar un martillo para nada. Ya supo con quién lo mandé. Y pues yo vi que inventé 150. Más para el sur. Ahí está. ¿No lo ha oído? No. Con los profetas del norte, ahí en Denver. Lo malo que hay contratistas que resultan muy rateros. Ahí está, la tienen aquí en el YouTube, ahorita lo pongo.
So as you can see, we went with a really rough broom. People are gonna be playing basketball on this. We wanted to make sure no one would slip, and it came out real well here. Just had to help my dad out. Had to reach way out there. We're glad we could get it from every side.
Tendrá más. Y vienen y topan las condolencias. Porque le pongan una foto. Ya no está puesto. Póngale que lo está puesto. Un medio año que la vi por dentro. Un año que la vi, no la he perdido captura. Luego estuve en condolencias. Aquí está el directo. Bueno, aquí todo otro día. Escuchan y pierdo tiempo y miran a la manifestación que aparece el nombre y luego aparecen esas otras y yo digo, quitan. Pero nomás son 200 pinches pies cuadrados. Con 2 estampas, ¿verdad, Melissa? ¿O quiere todas las 4?
Eso, Yanni.
No alcanza a limpiar. No, casi no. Pensé que iba a estar el liso del otro. ¿El polvo? No, me gusta el liso pica. El liso queda más bien. No alcanza a chispear, hijito. Ahí. No alcanza a chispear acá para acá. No, nosotros ya. Hazme caso un chiquito. No, ¿por qué? Los gatos se duermen con el chiquito. ¿En qué? Se les puede dormir. viendo el chiquito. Imagínense que estamos aquí viendo que está cayendo nieve. Ayer estaba como a 10 aquí, aquí Luisito.
¿Aligrado?
Congelando totalmente. Perdió esa, lo de la placa de un lado y lo de otro lado. Pero eso más si quieres.
Por orilla.
La gente quiere que al gimnasio, pues que aquí tenemos esto.
Pero ayer relajarse en el lago, no era en la alberca.
Por eso necesito yo ya una.
What?
So the stamp went pretty quick. Our guy stamping it, he's pretty light, so we got on there a little early, stamped it nice and gently. We used that bubble gum release, and then we come back 28 days later to use the Easy Teak release system. We used to use the old method with the powder release. I'm not a fan of that anymore. I believe the Easy Teak just gives you more detail. If you do it right, if you do it wrong, it can be worse than the powder release. But the stamp came out gorgeous. The customer picked a great color. We were really happy with it. She was really happy with it. The whole family was happy with it. But as you can see here, it came out real good. But there it is, guys. I'm glad you guys looked at our video. Hope you like something you see on here, and call us if you have any questions. Leave us a like, subscribe, and have a great day, guys.